actually pretty exciting. A little bit sad it didn't go to an ace match, but yeah, hopefully it does today. Hopefully. So it's going to be another best of 7. If SAS wins this best of 7, they will be the Gambits Cup champions, winning something like $1,500, $1,600, a lot of dollars. Whereas if iFU wins, then we'll go to a deciding series next weekend. So yes, cheering for iFU so we can see another series. All right, let me host up game number 1. All right, it's going to be on Polaris Rhapsody. And let me just clear my overlay so it's not confusing. 0-0 again. All right, done. Good. Okay. Game number 1 on Polaris Rhapsody. Oh, I would also like to note that our lovely organizer / referee didn't even know the prize pool either. So, ha! Take that. All right, apparently it's $1,525 for first and $325 for second. So there's actually a $1,200 prize gap resting on this best of 3 of best of 7s. It's pretty sick. Well, there we go then. Game number 1, Polaris Rhapsody. Where's the beeps? Yeah, there they are. They're the beeps. All right. At the bottom right, as the blue Protoss. I like this. Look at this. First game, first player I look at is a Protoss. See, that's already a good sign. Oh, and it's SAS draw as well. Oh man, this is gonna be a good day already. I like it, and he's playing none other than the coach, the master of disaster, and 2-hatch Muta, Eon Zerg. Oh, this is good. I like it. So the iFU captain coming out in the first set to play good old Kid Canada. Blue and yellow. Alright, sweet. Oh wait, what? That didn't work at all. Oh shit, I put it in the wrong place. Ah! This freaking overlay program thingy. Alright, there we go. Anyway, it looks like Draw's gonna do the good old non-scout, because, you know, scouting's for pussies. And, what was I gonna say? I was gonna say something else. Oh yeah, Eon Zerg, I believe, lost his match last week against SAS. Basically, it was like, it was 3-2 in SAS's favor, and then Eon Zerg came out in set 6 and played against Busy on Fighting Spirit, and kind of failed pretty hard, to be completely honest. He just like did a lot of Zerging attacks that did absolutely nothing because Busy had sick micro, and yeah, it didn't go well for him. He's going 9-pool this time against Draw. This is a 2-player map, of course, so he'll go directly over to Draw's base, but that also means that Draw will scout him first as well. And it looks like Draw's just gone for a blind forge first, so that's going to probably help him survive. It's interesting, because Draw usually goes for Gateway first, expand, so I don't know if Eon Zerg knew that and went for the 9-pool, but is in fact not facing that this time. Ooh, that's a bit of a fake too, it looks like. Was that a fake? Oh, not necessarily. I thought that might be like, you know, hoping that the probe would try and block and not scout the 9-pool. But it looks like that didn't do anything anyway. So John's going to make 1 cannon here. Presumably put the gateway on top. So making a decent-ish wall. So there'll be 1 gap here. I don't know if that's laying tight. I think it might be. I'm not sure. Maybe it's not. Anyway. Looks like Eon Zerg going to take the top right double gas as his first base here. I do like Zerg taking that double gas and ZVP on this map, rather than one of the closer mineral onlys. I mean, I guess he could have taken the 9 o'clock, but meh, this is fine. So yeah, got an extra probe here to block, and there's the gateway. Build the Nexus first, of course. The rush distance is fairly long on this map, so he had plenty of time. And there's only 1 cannon, but with a good wall and a good block here, should be okay. The question is that actually tight? If that's not tight, Draw could just die right now, which would be hilarious. Well, it would be bad, but I would giggle. And it looks like Eon Zerg believes it is tight, so he's not going to try anything. Cool. Meanwhile, scouting probe. We're going to go check out what's going on. Going to see the natural hatchery. Draw will probably assume that there's a 3rd hatchery somewhere on the map. He did see the drone move out. So it's quite likely that it's taken somewhere He doesn't necessarily know it's at the top right double gas, but he knows it's somewhere on the map. And in the meantime, everything going on is normal in Draw's base. Nightfall really not accomplishing too much for Eon Zerg. I mean, if he can kill this probe now, that will help, or obviously these Zerglings will help deny the scout, but he's actually just leaving these 5 outside the Protoss base. So as long as Draw pays attention to the probe, he shouldn't lose it for a really long time. Whoa! Run by! Oh! Snap. I don't know how that happened. I guess Draw just moved his probes back to mine, which was spotted by the Overlord. But it looks like he's actually not going to do too much damage here. Woo! Nice control. Oh, very cute. Very cute. So I think he only lost a couple of probes there. But yeah, good attempt by Eon Zerg. But he didn't have speed or anything, so wasn't overly useful. And the problem now is that this Zealot's going to move out, and that's going to force Eon Zerg to make more lings. If he just saved those lings from earlier, he would just be able to deal with that easy peasy. So he took a bit of a risk there, and didn't really do it. Ghost of King says he only got 1 probe, so definitely not worth it there. And hopefully he doesn't overmake lings in response here. He's made 6 more lings. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. But the Zealot's actually gone to the top right, instead of going to the natural, and all of the lings are actually here, so he's going to force these drones to freak out a little bit here, costing Eon Zerg a bit of mining time. So the lings are actually over on this side, and when the lings come over to deal with the Zealot, the probe's actually going to be able to sneak into the base. Yeah, looks like that was Draw's plan here, so some nice smart moves here by Draw. And it's going to pull the Zealot back immediately. Looks like there isn't actually a good place. Well, actually, he could like hide here and, you know, do the mega annoying cost-efficient thing. Looks like he's trying to keep the Zealot alive and just pull it back. Don't think it's going to happen, though. Yeah, because he is getting +1, so it looks like he is going to go Corsair speed lot. Or not necessarily mass Corsairs. Well, he is building, is that the second one? Yeah, so he's building a second one. So I feel like he's going for +1 speed loss plus Corsairs. It's a pretty popular thing to do nowadays. Looks like some lings gonna go do nothing useful at the top right. So first Corsair, just poking an Overlord because the probe got a good scout off earlier, and so he feels pretty safe in not sending that immediate to go scout. He's not actually making a 3rd Corsair though, so it looks like perhaps he's not going 3 Corsairs, or not going mass Corsairs, just gonna get a couple, and then go and then just get the +1 speed lots, which is fine as well. Draw, I don't know. Draw likes going for those, getting more Corsairs because that lets you do all these fancy drops and stuff, like even drops in the main. So I guess he's not gonna bother this time. Also, that 1 Zealot does get hunted down at 3 o'clock. But one interesting thing going forward here, going into the main game, is obviously that Eon Zerg now has 4 gas available to him. So he can do something like, you know, or if he goes, you know, the normal Hydra Lurker, he can get a lot more Lurkers. Or if he goes delayed Muta, he can afford a lot of those as well, obviously. Yeah, I remember Day 9 even talking about like on Longinus, which also has the double gas, the faraway double gas, kind of like on this map. Day 9 talked about doing like mass Lurker Muta builds, although I'm not sure if that was ZVT. That might have been for ZVT. Can't really remember. But look at this, Eon Zerg is actually getting +1 carapace. It looks like he is going to go mass air, try and take advantage of this extra gas that he's got. And I think that's pretty smart here. You know, use the map to your advantage, whatever little things you can. Meanwhile, Draw, pumping out those Elts, getting a cannon in his main base. He's going to be a little bit careful. He doesn't have Templar Archives yet, so when these Mutas come out, he's not going to have a lot to deal with them. He only made a couple of Corsairs, as you can see. And with that late Archives, he's not going to make an Archon for a while, so he's probably going to have to build a number of cannons in his main and his natural to really do anything. Meanwhile, it looks like the Zealots are going to move out. They don't have speed yet, but that should be done shortly. +1 has finished, and yeah, looks like speed is just about finished. So it'll kick in by the time the attack hits. Although it looks like the Zealots are doing a nice move here. Going to grab one of these Zealots, maybe not quite, but you know, making a good effort there. And now the Zealots moving to the top right. It's a little bit hard to SimCity it really well, as you can see, compared to some other maps. He's got like a bit of a block here, but only 1 sunken, and this could actually be quite dangerous for him. He does have the Mutas out now, though, but he's only got 3 of them with a few skirts, so he can easily pick off the Corsairs, but 3 Mutas isn't going to kill this many Zealots very quickly, so Draw still has the opportunity to do a lot of damage. Well, really nice drone drill, though, drilling perfectly around the sunken. Unfortunately, a few Zealots were already in contact with the Sunken on the north side, so that Sunken does fall, and now the drones are going to be massacred. Yeah, Eon's realizing that he can't fight here, he just needs to evacuate the drones, let the Mutas pick off the Zealots, and force them away. It looks like Draw just going to leave one Zealot to be annoying to let the rest escape, so then Mutas going to chase them all down. Nice little sacrifice there for his buddies. So, you know, Eon's lost a few drones there, didn't take massive damage. It looks like Draw's actually going to continue Corsair production now in response to this air threat, also getting an additional cannon there at his main. Didn't get a cannon at his natural yet, could be dangerous, and oh man, Zealot's going to take some damage all in the retreat here. But yeah, you know, Draw didn't get +1, so that +1 carapace of the Mutas, or on the air carapace for Eon's is going to be quite effective against those Corsairs. I mean, the Corsairs are, you know, low damage per shot, but high rate of fire, which means the armor upgrade actually is really good. It's basically a 20% damage reduction against the Corsairs. It's pretty fantastic as far as those upgrades go. In the meantime, wow, double Archons immediately from Draw, and yeah, that's so I think he should be okay here. He's going to be a little bit careful not to over-defend against the Mutas, I guess. You can see he's getting cannons in his bases. One cannon at the natural, 2 in the main. I think that's a perfect number if you're going to get double Archon as well as the Corsairs. Because you have to be a little bit careful if the Zerg suddenly switches into Hydras and you have like all Archons and no Templar. You can be in a little bit of trouble. But I think Draw probably knows or has a good idea of when to make the switch back. Anyway, it looks like +1 carapace is now finished, but this big army's moving out, and it looks like Draw not paying attention, gonna lose one of his Corsairs straight away and take another Scourge hit on one of the other ones, and ooh, one Scourge hit apiece doesn't actually lose an additional Corsair. A random drone over here, I have no idea why. But this Archon force could actually be quite scary since Eon's has focused on the Mutalisks. But here we can see, this is what I'm talking about. Going back into Hydras, even though he got the +1 air carapace, it looks like he's not, you know, overcommitting with the Mutas, which is a good idea. He's not doing something like, you know, Cole, where he sees a bunch of Archons and Corsairs. He's like, well, better keep making Mutas. No, he's very smartly gone back into Hydralisks. Also sunkening up the top right, he knows it's vulnerable. Whoa! Whoa my god, what was that? You do not want to do that. In the meantime, what do we got going on? Storm finally being researched. +1 air weapons is in fact being researched. It's fairly late for Draw. By the time that finishes, Eon's should not really have much air left at all. I mean, these Mutas now are basically for like Templar sniping duty, and maybe some light harassment in the main base. Not much else they're good for anymore. And yeah, they're just, you can see, they're just easily warded away by the Corsairs. But with a decent SimCity here and with the Hydra army, the Zealot Archon force can't really make much headway either. Look at all these Hydras just hiding among the drone lines. Really nicely packed defense here by Eon's, but I guess that's kind of what you have to do if you can't like make a semi-wall off anywhere at that base. In the meantime, Straw getting a third. Yeah, he's got a couple Zealots heading over to this mineral only. He'll be curious where he actually takes it. I was just gonna say, taking the mineral only might not be ideal here. Obviously, you know, you'd prefer to get the gas base, and he is in fact going to get a slightly farther away 3 o'clock base. Although since it is a very narrow choke, you can easily just cannon this up and defend it anyway. In some situations, it's probably even easier to defend than like this mineral only, even though this is closer. It's much more wide open. So getting that base, I think, is a pretty good choice. Eon's, meanwhile, interestingly, despite having 4 gases on 3 base, is really short on gas. He's not mining fully from this gas. It's like partly matter. He's not mining from this gas either. It looks like Draw's going to go in here, getting a decent storm off there. The drones have been evacuated. It looks like Eon's, despite having a really tight defensive position, it doesn't have enough defenses, enough Sunkens, enough Hydras to actually stop this. So Draw is breaking through here on Eon's. It looks like he could just lose this expansion, which would be really problematic. That one Sunken in the back, actually, being really annoying by having this no surface area, but this base is almost certainly going to fall here. The Zealot's going to focus down the hatchery. The Hydras are coming in to try and save it, but I think with just one more target fire, the hatchery will fall and Draw can just evacuate, or just, you know, sacrifice the army. It doesn't really matter. Oh man, nice storm on those Hydras as well. And it looks like Eon's could just fall right now here. He's got a few Hydras remaining, he's got a few Mutas remaining, but I don't think it's enough here. The Zealots going to come in here and close with the Hydras. They're +2 Zealots against +1 Hydras. Meanwhile, Draw is getting a 3rd base up, so he's basically going up to 3 base against a 2 base Zerg, although Eon's is now taking the mineral only as well, and he still has his hatchery here, so he can kind of mine from this gas at actually not a delayed rate even. That's still going to be okay mining. But Eon's again, really a world of hurt. He's down to 74 supply against 105 supply for Draw, who has his space pretty safe here. One random leg just going to get picked off there. It looks like Eons are going to try and do some harassment now with those mutas, make good use of them. You know, they clearly can't really engage the Protoss army head on with storms and Corsairs and whatnot. So I think this is the best use of them now, to go and harass the mineral line. I don't know what that random zealot's doing. Meanwhile, Eonzerg's base, nothing too exciting going on there. It's like the one cannon can discourage the mutas, and actually it looks like there's only a couple of them left, maybe 3 mutas left, so not even going to be able to do much there. Zealots moving in again. Eonzerg just distance mining from this base. There's only Zealots this time, no High Templar unless they're in the back. It looks like there's one in the back there with 1 storm. Oh, but it's the money storm there as well. And now that this is all open because the buildings died, the Zealots can easily go and engage the Hydras. There's no buildings to hide behind anymore. So, yeah, it looks like everything's gonna fall here. Oh, he might even get a Hydra Den. Oh, Drone's gonna focus on the Hydra Den. Oh, getting great storms everywhere. The drone's even transferring back into the storm here. Draw just really focusing down this area here. I'm a little bit surprised he hasn't even gone for a drop or anything. Does he even have a robo? Troll doesn't even have a robo, interestingly enough, because he just hasn't seen any lurkers. He's been putting on so much pressure that Eonzerg hasn't even been able to go lurkers, and now that the Hydra Den's dead, he definitely can't go lurkers. Eonzerg's actually supply blocked, and he can't even make any units besides Zerglings and drones right now anyway. Well, I guess he can actually keep making more mutas, but I don't really see those being overly effective at this point. And it looks like Eonzerg's going to try and harass the back of this base. That could be quite good. No, he's actually going into the main. I don't think he actually realizes that the back here is quite open and vulnerable. Draw actually bringing back a couple of units to help defend that because he realizes that. Looks like instead, oh, he's trying to pick up the Templar. Doesn't quite manage it. He's only got 4 mutas there. It's not really going to help. And why is there a random Zealot just wandering around everywhere? No idea. So Eonzerg now at 67 supply against the 146 of Draw. As you can see, Draw with a massive lead, almost 100 supply lead over the Zerg player. It's 3 base against 3 base, and Draw even has a gas base versus this mineral only base. So Eonzerg is just in massive trouble here. I'm not really sure what we can do to come back even. I mean, Draw would have to make a serious mistake at this point. So looks like the Muta is going to fly around here. Eonzerg and try and do what he can. Notice he's not even stacking them anymore because there's so many Corsairs out. But yeah, even then, don't see him doing too much damage. It looks like he's going to deny this minute only for a little bit, so that's useful. But it doesn't matter when they're already on even bases. I don't think Draw really cares about that. He doesn't really need another base, and he's preparing to go attack this base, which is fairly open here. He's going to attack downhill. In a wide open area. There's a few randomly placed Sunkens here that aren't really going to be overly effective. Maybe one thing he can try to do is use the Sunkens to target fire the Archons maybe, and if he can get a good split with the Scourge and the Mutas, he can like shuffle the Corsairs and do something like that. But I think that's about the only chance he has right now. If he isn't able to pick off the anti-air and use his Mutas, there's no way these Hydras are going to stand up to all these storms that we can see and this gigantic ground force. So Draw, you can use some storms on the drone line here. But the Mutas are coming in, and here we go. This is going to be very crucial, I think, if he can do anything with these. But the 3 Archons are still alive, though, and there's still some storms remaining as well, it seems. So Eonzerg is going to lose his base and fall back to his natural again. He's going back down to 2 bases. He's moving in and trying to pick off a couple of these. He's got to be really careful not to take any Archon shots and not to take any storms either. The storms could be even worse. There's one storm. The Corsairs coming in. Eonzerg looks like he might have just given up here. Not even very many units left to micro, and what few there are just getting demolished by storms. And now the Scourge coming in. I don't know where these were just now. The Scourge coming in really late. Gonna kill a good number of these Corsairs, in fact. Almost all the Corsairs, but oh no, there's a couple more at the top. But this is basically it for Eonzerg, and looks like Draw expanding to Eonzerg's 3rd as well under the Overlord, and Eonzerg GG's. So Draw takes game number 1 for SAS. Whew. Alright, wow. Guess that was pretty clear cut. Draw went for a nice attack on the 3rd, and he killed it. Done. Alright, game number 2, let's go. Looks like it's going to be on Outsider. Sweet. Could I lower in-game sounds a bit? Yeah, I could do that. Could do that.